The last 17 months, I've known that help here is not the right place to go. I've spoken with people who have been here, who are right back out on the streets. Jim should have done his job. Porters should have done their job. Now, not right for them to pawn me off on this place. I think Bree can probably acknowledge that too. Try to bring up the issue. Of course, Bree was too and accusational and hateful to hear anything that I had to say that she asked me were actual questions. They were all totally her decision, not mine. She didn't try finding out what the issue was. She didn't want to try speaking to being. She didn't want to try being rational. Try being angry and belligerent. And that's all she was willing to try. Now, when I am here, everybody else wanted to pawn me off on, promise there's services here that there are not. And I try to free so that she can do the right thing and address those people. Hey, stop sending people out here. Mandated reporters, you need to do your job instead of sending people out to helping hands. Hands. We shouldn't be bullied. I don't want to be recording this at 2. I want to still be awake. I'd like to be laying down, going to sleep. So I can't. My bed is full of stuff that, yeah, I could have pulled it off earlier, but I had things to do as well. Meanwhile, what keeps me safe? I'd been here less than half an hour when I got yelled the first time. And the lady who was yelling at me was yelling. She just kept it up. Then later on in the night, somebody asked me to make a pot of coffee. She and 5 other people all yelled at me, like actual shouting, screaming things like, everybody. No, the fuck they didn't. I didn't make that mess. I didn't make that pot of water in it. I didn't put the grounds in the thingy. I put the into the slot. I had nothing to do watching it happen and getting bullied out of the way, while the lady who obviously was just busy being a bully wanted to stand in front of me so I could. She wanted to freak out while she's in between me and the coffee pot. Got it very quick and easy. All right, I could have grabbed it and poured it in. However, this lady wanted to stand there until it actually did. So it is 100% her fault that it overflowed. Sure, it's not the lady put too much water in, but it is her fault. It flowed the way that it did for as long as it did because she got out of the way. Some other lady had to. Lady who's obviously nuts. Yeah, it's nuts to think that you can go bullying somebody and blame them and do and expect them to just shut up and take it. Dude who had a severe attitude, well, the other end of the building, but He's one of the people that wanted to bully. Same thing, because later on in the night, when I was asked if I would make a pot of coffee, instead it was yelling and being told that, oh well, everybody just stay away from it. You don't try to understand. And this is over. All right, it's fucking spilt coffee. It ain't fucking killing. It was cleaned up, no problem. Who made the spill cleaned it up. She's the one who made the mess. She's the one that made the coffee. She's not the one that made the mess. The coffee flowing is what made the mess, but that could have been remedied if it hadn't been for somebody who bully later on, being a bully then as well, trying to assert her power and be, like I said, a bully. You don't have to be a victim like Brianna did. Yeah, I'm the victim here. Me. She wants to tell me about the anxiety. How about my valid reasons? Yeah, being bullied by 6 people within, what, at most? Yeah, it doesn't a place like this. Did I wake up and go, yeah, go out to helping hands and get bullied? That sounds like. Now, Bree, instead of addressing the issues with Jim and with the police, why are you sending people for services that we don't provide? See, that's what she should have been calling up and asking. Why are you sending these people here? You need to do your job. The mandated reporters. You're the police. These mandated reporters, every single one of them does the same thing, don't they? They don't want to hear about this. They just want a housing. Say about housing. They don't want to hear about the actual situations that I'm. Their assumptions to be it, and if their assumptions don't fit, well then make them fit. What are the chances of Bree trying to why it is that I've been up all night in this room? What are the chances that she'll try to understand? Not very. What are the chances that she's going to be angry and hateful and spiteful? Pretty good. From my experience with her so far, that's my experience with her. That's it. Now, did she find out why it is that I was making those calls? Did she care why I was making those calls? Oh, she asked me, and I started to answer. An answer, that's not why she asked. She was too busy being accusation person. She'd already decided that I did these things, and she treated me like I was a bad person. Meanwhile, petulant child. Don't take a position of. Don't act like a 5-year-old when you've got a victim of crime who's trying to get help stop. These are not reasonable people. I got basically to choose from out here. I've either got the drug addicts and alcoholics. I can go to the snooty, uppity, the ones who like to push everyone else around. Now, you gotta understand here that many of those people pushing people around are also down to is who are the quote unquote mentally ill people that everyone here, just like in Jamie again from the Dalles, Oregon. And that guy fell in the back of the head, wanted to pretend it's okay because he's related. And he just threw a piece of burrito in her face. No, he socked her in the back of the head. And then he wanted to say, oh, well, everybody's not nuts around here. But he's nuts. Does that make it okay to assault them? Obviously, obviously, it's okay to harm disabled people, and it's okay. All to me is crazy. It's okay to lie on the street. He's crazy. It's okay to falsely imprison him because he's crazy. It's okay to run around and tell everybody he's crazy, isn't it? That's what makes you crazy. Get up and take it. There's not a chance in hell I'm going to shut up about it. Now, as far as the helping hands, just the stuff that I've recorded in the last is enough to get this place shut down. It's also enough to get a lot. And it's a shame that's the route I'm going to have to go. It's obvious between the issues and blaming me for them, Bree's just going to blame me. Addressing the issues and blaming me, the cops are just going to blame me. Between looking at evidence, creating more safety issues, I cannot go to the cops alone. Dismissed and disrespected. That's why we're an advocate. But look at how they're using the ill. They're using it to deprive me of all of my. Now, if I had a choice between turning in Bree tomorrow, working together with her, which one would I choose? Obviously, together. But it's not working together if it's what she wants and I'm not allowed to say anything and I'm supposed to just be belittled. Doesn't that feel good to be belittled? You guys get to see on here every time I belittle somebody. You don't like it, do you? You tell me how for going to the internet about it. Well, with all due respect, and about it, they just took advantage of me. I tried telling Bree about the situation, telling the cops about the situation. I tried telling Care about the I tried telling Jim about the situation and Cody about the situation. Dr. Danelle Boggs about the situation, and of course, Esther situation. None of these mandated reporters did their job as reporters, not a single one of them. And then you expect me to go back to these predators time and time and time again. Are you willing to look at the evidence? No, you're not. You're just going to argue with me. it needed it, chose it, and deserved it. That to a rape victim. Meanwhile, I can tell you from experience that this is worse than being raped. Bree shouldn't have taken it out on me. Just like that lady with the chili taking out that spilt coffee on me. And she certainly and trying to start a fight with 6 people. That's, it's even more stupid putting somebody like that in charge of. She ran the AA, literally spent the whole AA meeting treating people like shit. By the way, I did record it. You can hear her laughing at a guy who's reading issues, laughing at him and making fun of him. Bullying me about my computer when I put it where I was told to. If she'd have listened to the issues instead of bullying, it would have made it a lot easier, but she was way around. Now, one of the good things about recording is that it shows who told the truth. Whereas got here is I'm not sure if I was recording or not. Now, obviously, with 6 people wanting to yell at me over a didn't even make, it's pretty obvious nobody gives a shit. The truth is, 6 people just wanted somebody to fucking bully. 6 people wanted someone to bully over a fucking goddamn coffee that I didn't even make. And because I stuck up for myself and said, hey, you need to blame me, I didn't make that pot of coffee. Well, then it's okay to bully me because she feels like her pride is hurt. So I just try to avoid her and the other 2 guys that were doing that. Those other 2 guys still have attitude problems. This should have been dealt with a long time ago. Sandra asked cuts out every couple of seconds. Yeah, be expected. They got crappy internet out here, so I'm trying to use my phone to do it. We'll see if I can get it transferred. Telephone. I don't understand why it's not working. Oh, because it's dead. I guess I should probably apologize to Sandra. It says unwatchable, cuts out every couple of seconds. I would really, really, really super like to have my own internet. my own router. The thing is that I spent money over and over and over on those things, only to be victimized by the local community and the all because you guys don't care. You guys care and to bully me or to tell me what to do, think, and feel. But none of you ever helped to turn it in. Try. The reason I send you guys the evidence hoping that you'll help turn it in. If I turn it in alone, they pretend I didn't send it, they couldn't see it. Over and over and over again, the police have done this. Over and over and over again, they have pawned me off onto mental health. Mental health is supposed to do something about crimes against disabled people. All of the places that they sent me to said it's not their police's job, and guess what else? 2 judges here all. So why doesn't that the police? It's their job. How? Because it's not her. That's right. It's unwatchable. I wish I had a better way to do this. That you take for granted. Everybody here gets to take for granted not having to live my life. See if this helps. Well, hopefully that fixes it. Sandra asked being typed, don't you have a GoFundMe? That's one of the problems about being homeless without a physical address for the last 7 years. No, I don't have a GoFundMe. Right after Natalie disappeared, 2 people made GoFundMes for me. Candace Bondurant and Cara Rogers. Candace Bondurant helped several of my predators to get away, and I let her know I wasn't happy about it. So, of course, she tried to pretend like I cursed her out for no reason. There's a group of people that actually wanted to help me, which is completely different from Candace Bondurant. She didn't actually want to help. So Candace Bondurant, this is just a few days before They found Joseph Michael Lopez. Candace Bondurant was trying to bully me because she didn't come forward about being harassed by the police or being intimidated, people threatening her and her family. No, she was fine with letting me get treated like I made it all up. She was fine with trying to convince others and con others and entice others into not helping me. Many of those people got a hold of me to let me know that their lives were threatened as well. And Cara Rogers and Candace Bondurant both took the GoFundMes that they started and absolutely refused to come forward about it while I got treated like I made GoFundMes and cheated people out of thousands of dollars. I was incapable of doing that. Sandra asked me and typed, do you have a Zelle or PayPal or anything? I have a bank account. Finally, I was able to get one last week. I'm still trying to jump through everything. I had PayPal, but police in Chapel, Nebraska arrested me for charges for crimes that were never committed by me, held me for 7 months, and then dropped the charges. However, by that time, there was absolutely no way that my PayPal was going to be usable because, well, I was using it for eBay. I had just started eBay because everybody told me, hey, why don't you do eBay? Sell stuff on eBay. You could make some money on eBay. Because as soon as I got the eBay thing started, well, I had to try to turn in Scott DaCosta for trying to run me out of town and for running around telling people I was schizophrenic. So what'd he do? He came and arrested me and assaulted me, but not in that order. As far as Zelle, I don't know what that is. As far as PayPal, I don't even remember my login for that. That's the thing about going through this abuse and not being able to sit down with it and having to spend large quantities of time locked up, being taken advantage of, being assaulted. I have a, what do you call it, Cash app. It's cash.app $Dogged Roman. Let me see if I can write that down. Now here's the thing, sending me money doesn't help, speaking up does. Well, sending me money helps with, and every one of you who wants to do it by yourself, well, that's a horrible way to do it because it leaves the victim completely incapable of getting help. That properly. Sandra asked being typed, have you gotten a lot of donors on there? No. A lot of people donated money in 2017, right after Natalie disappeared. A lot of people donated money, but I had to depend on others for those things because they wouldn't help me to do those things before she died. After she died, they were able to use those as a power and control thing. They control the money. And I do what they want, no matter how wrong it is or I don't get the money. Well, guess what? I told the truth because the truth is the right thing to do. I told the truth. And Candace Bondurant was pissed. Just like these people here are pissed that I tell the truth. Well, guess what? They shouldn't have bullied me. How screwed up in the head do you have to be to bully a victim of long-term abuse? How much of a piece of crap do you have to be for bullying somebody for telling you the truth, like Bree did yesterday? Now, there's so many people that wanted to send me Cash App over the last 7 years. That's right, 7 years. I've been trying to get a way that people can actually send me money so they can help me if they want to financially. so that I can actually use the money that people keep offering me. But here's the thing, they never send it. They literally do not send it. They say, do you have Cash App? Do you have Cash App? No, I don't. I need help doing that. For 7 years. Finally, I get Cash App. My phone's broken. I can't fix that. And it's not even broken because of me. It's broken because I didn't have a safe environment for me and my things. Just like this is not a safe environment for me and my things. Any point in time, Bree could throw a tantrum and I'm the one that gets screwed. Any point in time, that lady with the chili dog could throw a tantrum and I'm the one that's screwed. Everyone takes advantage of at-risk adults. That's why we're at risk. Everyone takes advantage of us because they can say mentally ill and magically their sins were never committed. Just like that guy who punched Jamie in the back of the head in the Dalles, Oregon. Nobody gave a shit. Everyone knows. Everyone. There isn't a person alive in the United States over the age of 10 years old who cannot see this plain as day. Unfortunately, you pieces of shit have taught your 10-year-olds that it's okay. Between the two GoFundMes that were made, one by Candace Bondurant and one by Cara Rogers, between the two of them, there was about $6,000 donated. I didn't see a penny of it. Not one red cent of it. Instead, the internet had this big old frenzy about how I was ripping people off for their money. Because Candace Bondurant didn't refund their money. Neither did Cara Rogers. Neither one of them made any attempt to refund the money. They claimed that they would, but they didn't try. Meanwhile, that wasn't their fucking money. That money was sent to help me. And these people did everything that they could to cut me off from that money after they got busted doing stupid stuff. Candace Bondurant should not have helped my predators to get away. She should not have bullied me the way that she did. She should not have treated me like crap because other people threatened her. She should not have treated me like I did something wrong because other people harmed her. She should not have treated me like I did a bad thing by calling the cops when I thought that one of Natalie's ex-stepmothers who was in contact with me was being harmed. And I had valid reason to believe that. When the officers showed up, I was telling them that she might be being hurt right that very moment. That it sounded like a scuffle. It was a situation that made the sick son of a bitch smile. That was Officer Michael Beard of Haxton, Colorado. A lot of people have tried to, hey, well, why don't you do this and why don't you do that? Why don't you help me? Do you have the means to do those things? See, what I need is a friend or family member who's going to listen and help to turn in the crimes. What I get is a bunch of people trying to bully me to get Cash App and bully me into getting PayPal and bully me into getting a whole bunch of other things. And you may not see it as bullying, but that's exactly what it is. Because it doesn't stop abuse. It just puts more on my plate. Your well-intentioned whatever doesn't make any difference. Are you helping to turn in the abuse? It doesn't matter how much money people want to give me if I have no way to receive it. And it doesn't matter how hard I try to turn in the abuse when I don't have a single person on the planet who actually cares. You get on my channel for entertainment. once in a while to pretend like you might want to help, but never to actually follow through. And by the way, when your friend comes to you and says that they want their life to end, you should only ask them one question. Why? And don't bully them. If they're not answering quick enough, don't ask them again or ask them in an even more harsh tone. No, you ask why and then you listen. And they may have to sit and think about it for a minute because, for the most part, we're not used to people sitting and listening, are we? We're used to people talking over us and dismissing us and treating us like we're bad people for having emotions, especially if we have a penis. All these people who claimed that they were going to help me, how many actually did? None. None of the other crap that they did to quote unquote help made any difference because, number one, it wasn't help turning in the evidence or turning in the abuse. And number two, they never came forward about it to the courts, to the police, to my public pretenders. They just procrastinated and twiddled their thumbs just like the pieces of crap at Safeway in Tillamook. There are no good people here. Out of all the places that I've been, although I believe that everybody deserves to be nuked, the two towns that I think it's probably a good idea for Russia to hit first if they're trying to get rid of bad people, that'd be Tillamook and Chapel. Tillamook, Oregon, Chapel, Nebraska. These are the two most horrible places I've ever lived. There's no such thing as good people. Obviously, this isn't what I wanted to be doing tonight. Obviously, I wanted to spend yesterday trying to do all the stuff that I needed to do to turn in my predators for court dates that I have coming up very shortly, but nobody gives a fuck. Nobody gave a fuck. Nobody gives a fuck to this day. All these empty fucking promises you people give. And then you want to talk out your asses about stuff you know nothing about, but you want to pretend like, because you said it all headstrong, that it must be true. Oh, that's bullshit. You have any idea how hard it was for me to be able to make a PayPal? And I finally did it. And then the police did what? First thing they did was fight their asses off to make sure that I wasn't allowed to show evidence of their wrongdoing. Fuck this goddamn country and everyone in it. As far as helping hands here goes, these aren't Christians. These aren't good people. Hell, I'm having a hard time even thinking of them as people. But I'm in a subservient environment here, so if people want to bully me, I have to take the bullying in exchange for the help I was promised. Well, they've already let me know that that help is not going to arrive. It does not exist. The room I gotta stay in here, there's 8 guys staying in that room. 8 guys. And no door. There's no privacy. If I could make my phone calls in private, I would. If I could make my recordings in private, I would. But literally, the closest that I am ever going to get to privacy here is after 10 o'clock. That's because they shut down the lights at 10 o'clock and everybody has to go to bed. Like a bunch of children with a bedtime and a curfew. Treating victims of long-term abuse like they're children isn't just disrespectful. It's not just demeaning or demoralizing. It's sick. Like pervert sick.